2020 has been a miserable year for almost everybody. But it has been pretty good for advanced micro devices, NASDAQ, AMD. AMD stock has rallied 51% so far in 2020. Source: Sundry Photography, Shutterstock.com. It's not just a matter of the AMD stock price, either. The news flow around the company generally has been good. Fourth quarter earnings handily beat Wall Street expectations. The Q1 report in late April looked solid. As I detailed in March, the company's outlook delivered at its Financial Day Analyst promised long-term growth and significant upside for the stock. But the best piece of news came on Thursday, and wasn't even AMD's doing. Rival Intel, NASDAQ, INTC, has stumbled once again. The news sent INTC stock falling 16%, while AMD shares rallied by nearly the same amount. With all that good news, AMD earnings on Tuesday afternoon would seem to be an opportunity to drive even more optimism. But with the pandemic still raging and the tech sector back at all-time highs, the report itself seems like a potential short-term stumbling block, even as the long-term case looks strengthened. Intel flops again. The core reason that AMD stock has gone from under $2 in early 2016 to nearly $70 at the moment is that the story surrounding the stock has fundamentally changed. After all, 4+ years ago, AMD was in trouble. Bankruptcy was a legitimate possibility, thanks to the combination of ongoing losses and a leveraged balance sheet. That aside, AMD was a distant rival to Intel in a personal computer market that looked headed for long-term declines. The story now, of course, is very different. Thanks to launches like Ryzen CPUs, central processing units, and the Vega GPU, graphics processing unit, line, AMD charged back into contention with Intel. But it also helped that Intel opened the door for its smaller competitor. Intel has been dreadful at product development. Last year, Dana Blankenhorn cataloged the many mistakes the company has made. Notably, the company was 4 years late in developing its 10 nanometers manufacturing process. And now Intel is blowing up at 7 nanometers. It announced with last week's earnings that it wouldn't get to 7 nanometers until 2022. Given the company's history, 2023 may be more realistic. AMD, thanks to manufacturing partner Taiwan Semiconductor, NYSE, TSM, is already there. And so AMD will have an enormous competitive advantage going forward. That's why AMD gained on Friday while INTC plunged. Even TSM stock got a nearly 10% bounce. The question for AMD the last few years was whether it really could catch Intel. Now the question might be reversed. It's Intel who looks like the distant rival. Short-term concern for AMD stock. The concern for AMD stock, however, is whether the good news is priced in. Friday's rally alone added more than $10 billion to the company's market capitalization. And it's not as if AMD stock was cheap before the rally. Shares were still trading at almost 40x the 2021 consensus earnings per share estimate.